I would like to introduce the speaker first. I have their bios here. Allow me to just read through. First, I will want to read the bio for Victor Rudia. Victor Rodia is a visionary professional whose journey spans clinical nursing, mental health, financial advisory, and leadership development. He began his nursing career at the School of Nursing at Ado-Ekiti, where he qualified as a registered nurse and later advanced to become a registered mental health nurse through the School of Psychiatric Nursing, Abeokuta, Nigeria. With a strong commitment to continuous growth, Victor earned his Bachelor of Science in Nursing from the University of Derby. He became a licensed protection insurance advisor, LPIA, with eminent financial in the UK. He currently works with the UK financial service sector, providing expert guidance on insurance policies, life insurance, income, and health profession and protection. Mortgage advice and so on for individuals, families, and businesses. Is fond of saying, desire to go to the grave empty, for there's so much God can do through you to impact a generation positively, then don't settle too soon. Victor is now pursuing his MBA from a prestigious UK university with the vision of integrating healthcare, finance, and policy to his story is one of the resilience, reinvention, and purposeful growth. He's happily married, blessed with beautiful daughter. Can you virtually clap? Professional who is here, Victor Rodi. Second here, we have Dr. Steve Uduye. Dr. Steve Uduye is an assistant professional at the Rankin School of Nursing, St. Francis Xavier University in Antigonish, Nova Scotia, Canada. He's a scientist affiliate with Nova Scotia Health, and his research and academic expertise focus on healthy aging, health informatics, and mental health. In addition to his academic role, Dr. Duye is actively engaged in supporting internationally educated nurses as they transition into clinical practice in Nova Scotia. He served as a volunteer course facilitator with the Immigrant Services Association of Nova Scotia, ISANS, where he contributes to the professional development and integration of internationally trained nursing professionals. You are welcome, Dr. Steve. We appreciate both of you, and we are very, very privileged to be having you, to have you here to share your stories and to inspire us to get to where you are and even, inspire higher. Thank you very much. We can all, so for the whole of the house, we would like you to participate by using the reaction on the chat. You can send your message through the chat. We have a co-moderator who will be helping us gather all the information and the questions. So please feel free to ask your questions through the chat. You can also love, thumbs up, send a balloon through the reaction button. That will really be appreciated. Thank you very much. So we will go straight to our question. Okay, here we are. So why are we here? We have already said the reason why we are here but just to explain further. We will be asking you questions that delve into your experiences, motivations, and perspectives on typical nursing profession and outside or beyond the bedside, including your career path, your challenges, and what you find most rewarding. So the first set of questions we'll be asking, we have 15 questions. So for each question, please, you can help just answer them if you can within 3 minutes time. then we can move on to the next person. So the first set of questions we'll be asking is about your journey into nursing. And the first question is, what inspired you to pursue a career in nursing? I will want to first start with Victor Rodia, because it's so interesting that we have a finance person among us. I'm not a financial, like I don't know anything about finances, and it's so nice to at least learn from you. Why did you even go into nursing career? Thank you. You have the floor, Victor. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me, everyone, please? All right.
Yes, we can hear you.
Good evening once again. I'll just start quickly by saying I'm grateful to God first for this privilege and grateful for the organizers of this platform. Thank you very much indeed for having me on board. And I want to say it's a privilege to share the stage with Dr. Steve. Good evening, sir. Right. So I'll just say if you're waiting to just breathe in and breathe out, it's not just going to be all about the the question and answer. Let's enjoy the moment, right? I know Olabisi Ayeni has been doing a fantastic job with the coordination, but please breathe in and breathe out. It's gonna be it's gonna be all right. So I would say for me, if you're expected to say, "Oh, I wanted to be a nurse from start," sorry, it's the wrong location. So let me say from start. Let me say from start, I never imagined I was going to do nursing. No, I never thought I was going to do nursing. In fact, 2013, I got an admission, to study medicine in Ukraine. 2013, I got an admission to study, is it, what's it called now? People who study animals in UI. But you know what? For some reasons, I couldn't go. I just said, I'm not doing this. And I could remember my dad just called me. I was in Ibadan then. I was saying one of my uncles. My dad just called me. You know what? I got a form for you. School of Nursing Adwekiti. You have to come and do the exam. You got a form for me without my consent. Things like that. So you know how that is gonna be. So I just okay. I said that's fine. And so I prepared and went to do it. And yeah, so that particular 2014, I got admission into the School of Nursing at Ekiti. Quite honestly, I never knew what I was doing. I never knew what I was going into. I never knew the academic implications of what I was going into. Permit me to say, I never knew the prophetic implications of what I was going into as well. So, but as time went by, I realized that nursing is a gift that God needed me to have at that point in time. I'm telling you, nursing is a gift that God needed me to have at that point in time. And I'm forever grateful for all those, interplays of events that made it possible to arrive at that, let me say, being a nurse is not arrival. It's just you're just starting. So let me just say to get that. So that's really kind of my journey. I don't know if I've spent 3 minutes, but but yeah, and I want to say that I'm really thankful for leaders whose hands I'm still growing, in their hands. I want to thank the people that showed me that there could be more, the people that really inspired me that it's not all about yes, we are empathetic, yes, we are caring, yes, we are unique beings. If nursing was easy, everyone would be a nurse. If it was easy, yes, everyone would be a nurse. So the fact that we are nurses, I strongly believe that it was just a deep beckoning onto a deep, permit me to use that word. And I feel that amidst many other professionals, I still think that we are kind of underrated, underpaid, and things like that. But I know that a new wave of nurses are rising who would define or redefine the new normal. I don't want to go ahead of myself. So I'm just saying that that was my journey into nursing. I was never sure if nursing was for me, but right now I can see really why why God needed to walk me through the path, and I'm still, of course, a nurse. So that being said, I think I must have used 3 minutes. I could keep talking on and on,
Yes,
but
yeah, I get it.
right. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Thank you so much. That was really very good. A lot of us stumbled into nursing, so I can relate with your I can relate with the story, when you don't really plan to go into nursing and you just found yourself there and you're making waves in the profession. Thank you so much for sharing that story. And I like the fact that you said being a nurse is not an arrival. I like it that you said it's still something that you're still working on. And yeah, that really came out to me strong. Thank you very much for that, Victor. Okay, so now to our honorable doctor. So it's your time to answer that question.
Okay.
So why are you here? What brought you into nursing?
Thank you.
Thank you. You have the floor.
Thank you so much. I am privileged to be here, sharing my personal life experience and how I got into nursing profession. I want to say, let me just use this opportunity to say hi to one of my friends who is on here, Oba Kayode Ogungbon. Is actually online. I don't think if he's still present. I want to say
I am 100% with you.
You're welcome, sir. All right. So I think my story kind of resonates on a deeper level with what Victor said, and I believe with so many other people on this forum as well. Every good things that happen to me in life, I kind of stumble into them. They were not things that I prepared for. They were not things that I have a premonition or preconceived idea of how they were going to play out, nothing inclusive. I have a sister who happens to be a nurse in the 80s. She lives in the US. She lives in New York. And in 1995, when I finished my secondary school, WAHEC, I got an admission to study law at the University of Ibadan. I was excited. Life was like, my goodness, this is everything. This is a dream, come true for me. I was so happy. I thought I would be going to the university because we live very close to the campus. And because my sister happens to be the person that would, finance my education at the time because my parents were retired. And the financial responsibilities and commitments, lied on my sister, my big sister. So she kind of convinced me and said, you know what? Law is great. You can actually come back, study law after many years. You don't really have to do it now. Nursing gives you all the opportunities you want in life. You can have a clinic in Nigeria. You can come abroad and work and become whatever you want to become, and so on and so forth. So the enticement of coming abroad to work, because this woman was so responsible for the family and some other people in her life, that got me interested in actually want to become a nurse. So I picked up the form in 2008. Sorry, 1990. I finished 1995. In 1998, I picked up the form. I haven't tried, the law program a little bit, and I kind of resulted to try the nursing profession. And I got into School of Nursing, LALA, in Ibadan, where I did my undergraduate, no, where I did my basic registered nursing program. And after which I went to Benin to do my psychiatric nursing. That was when I met my honorable, my excellence, Oba Kayode Ogungbon. We did psychiatric together in Benin. So from there, I worked briefly at Arrow for just 2 years, and I came to Canada. So life as a nurse changed for me when I got to Canada. I worked briefly, and over time I realized that I could do more with myself. I could do more with my knowledge, with my interest in studying. And I think to a large extent, what really convinced me was the fact that I wasn't enjoying the clinical practice, to be honest with you. The idea of waking up in the morning by 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. and go to work and stay there for 12 hours, I kind of detested the idea. I wanted freedom. I wanted flexibility. And I began to look into other areas that would, allow me those flexibilities I was looking for. And academia kind of gave me the opportunity. Like I always tell people, academia is a kind of job or field where you can decide your own hours. I only teach 3 hours. I only teach three times a week, sometimes 2 times a week, sometimes 3 times a week. And the rest of the work, I can do it in my house or I can do it anywhere. So it doesn't really put so much stress on me compared to working in the clinical areas. And I love the idea that I have that flexibility. I can attend to families, my personal needs, family needs. I can do things I enjoy doing, and I will still get paid for coming to teach the students, and so on and so forth. The other interesting thing I love about this profession so far, what keeps motivating my interest, is the fact that I can pick my bag here in Canada today and go to Australia and go to any part of the world and still be relevant. That sense of significance, I think I kind of like that, And I think when I advise students today, I kind of sell that idea to them as well. If that's your dream to travel around the world, nothing will give you that opportunity. But the question comes to every individual when we really have to start asking ourselves that, beyond this profession, what else can I do? There's always room to do more. If you believe you can do more, nothing actually gives you the opportunity to do more. So it comes to the very idea I've always believed that the individual will have to ask himself or herself, what can I become through this nursing profession? It shouldn't be the end itself. It should be a means to an end to very many areas or many things we wish we become or achieve individually or collectively as a group of people. All right, I think I will end there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That was so inspiring. And I think, yeah, you had a lot of journey in there, with all the things that you are able to do nursing wise. And you ended up saying the same thing with Victor, like, nursing not being the end, it's a means to an end. It's the same thing as Victor saying being a nurse is not an arrival and is the starting. So I really appreciate that, almost you are both corroborating yourself in the way you see nursing and in the way you see that nursing should be beyond where we are right now, and we should not settle for less. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I officially want to allow our timekeeper to write on the page anytime we are spending more than 3 minutes. So Joel, you have the floor. You have the go ahead to write up on the write us on the chat if we are running more than at specific time. Thank you very much. Okay, so our next question goes to Dr. Steve Iduye. So, with your journey, I believe that you have gone through so many challenges, having to move from Nigeria to Canada, to doing psychiatry, to leaving that side, 12-hour job, to going into academia and all that. What are some of your biggest challenges that you faced? We know that it can never be a straight road. It can never be a smooth road, to where you are right now. So what are, your biggest challenges? You have a lot, but look at the one that is the biggest, that you face and how you're able to overcome that. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. That's a very profound question. See, let's just be honest now. This is not our country or our countries, I think everybody can relate to this because it's something systemic. One of the biggest challenges personally that I have been able to navigate, or I still navigate, is the systemic inequalities, both within healthcare and academia. You know, as a Black professional, I have had to work harder at times, most times, to establish myself as credible and to also continue to advocate for inclusion. Let me unpack that idea. You see, as an immigrant, this is my understanding. 15 years living in Canada, this is my understanding and experience. You really have to be 10 times better as an immigrant compared to your white contemporaries. I say 10 times better. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe 3 times better than your, white contemporaries or colleagues, because you don't have the advantages, you don't have the privileges they have. A white person doesn't have to be overly qualified to be given the job or to perform the job. By virtue of having the skin alone, there are privileges attached to that. I don't want to blame them. I don't want to blame the skin. I don't want to say because they are white, that's why. When I was in Nigeria too, I experienced inequality, systemic inequality. I was born and brought up in Ibadan. I'm an Ibadan boy for sure, right? Even though my parents were from Edo State. I finished nursing school, went to UCH to look for job. They said I wasn't from Oyo State. I went to the state government to look for job. They said I wasn't from Oyo State. I went to Ekiti State to look for job. Oh my God, I was even thrown away like a piece of excrement. So everywhere I went back in the days looking for job in Nigeria, the discrimination was always based on you are not from here, you are not from here. So I'm not surprised people don't look like me behave this way, because where I came from, people behave this way to me, right? And I am not offended. So to continue on my story, you have to be 3 times or 10 times better compared to your contemporaries, because they have a lot of things working for them that will not work for you. So you really have to prove yourself. I have to prove myself over and over. A good example of proving myself is there were many instances, in my career going through different schools, to actually put up the best version of myself, to be able to get scholarship, to be able to get papers published, to be able to find a job in the midst of white people. In my school, or in all the schools I've taught so far, I've always been the only Black person in the midst of these people. But the advantage I have is that I have more credentials than many of the people I work with. I have more experiences than the people I work with. And I have a lot of, research collaboration than many of the people I work with. So it's very difficult for them to discount what I bring to the table when it comes to my job. So they don't have anywhere to put me. They have to allow me to do what I have to do. So what if I don't have all those things working for me? What if I was just all these years I've been here, I've been just contented with average, in my job, not adding values to myself, or not even thriving or trying to add values to myself in that field or in that area. What do you think will happen to me? Definitely, I'll be pushed behind. I'll be left, to settle for what is not even, convenient or good as outcomes, at the end of the day. So I am saying this to say that for as many people that would end up in academia, or perhaps in your field, in your specific area of interest in nursing, you really have the need to continue to work on yourself, to continue to add values on yourself. People don't pay you, they don't pay you because you show up, because you are a nurse. They just want to pay you because you are a nurse. I think over here in Canada, I've come to realize that people pay you, people acknowledge you because of what you bring to the table, what you contribute to the bigger discussion. So for me, I have fought this battle, and I still continue to fight it. Another challenge, I think, has been balancing clinical demands with teaching responsibilities. My job requires me to to do research, to conduct research, and to teach and to provide services to the province. And navigating this complexity, it's pretty hard, for many people. But the good thing about where I found myself in the last couple of years is that God has been so good to me. I've been able to connect and collaborate with people who are big names, who have big names in my field of expertise, and people who want to climb the ladder as well. Students, African students, immigrants, and some other people that would love to learn so much about informatics. I've been able to bring people together and collaborate, look for research grants and opportunities, and that continues to help me because my research is becoming better every day, and what I contribute to the province is well received, and my teaching is well evaluated by the students, and I think I'm in a good place in my career. I haven't struggled for so many years to become the man I've become today. I think it shows is a testament to the fact that hard work really pays. And despite challenges that you might face as individuals, you really have to persevere and prove to the people who doubt you that you matter. You bring something worthwhile to the table. Those are the people I think you hold that story to a large extent. So I can
Thank you
continue.
very much.
But do you have more minutes, or you want me to
No,
stop?
you already spent 5 minutes.
Oh my, sorry about
You already
that.
spent
You
5
can,
minutes, but it's
you can
okay.
always,
Yeah,
you
it
can
was
always
engaging.
raise. Okay, sorry. You can
Yeah,
always raise
it's okay.
any icon for me to stop if I'm.
Yeah, I actually particularly told our timekeeper to give you 5 minutes for this
All
because
right.
the way it was going, the trajectory, I noticed
Right.
that this question cannot just stay in 3 minutes zone. So I
Right.
just allowed the 5 minutes. Thank you so much. That was very, 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 very huge. I heard some things, but I won't say them now. I want to hear from Victor, then I'll collaborate the two together. Thank you very much, Dr. Eji.
Thank you.
Victor, it's your time to talk about this. What are your challenges or your biggest challenge that you faced?
All right. Thank you for that question. And well, just before I go into my biggest challenge, I want to say that on behalf of the people from Ekiti, we are sorry, Dr. Steve, because you mentioned Ekiti.
No. Oh, no. I was just reflecting, about the racism, tribalism in Nigeria versus racism abroad, right? Yeah.
I get what you mean. So absolutely,
Yeah.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
So my biggest challenge is pretty much really similar, fundamentally to what Dr. Steve has shared. Don't forget, although there are parliamentarians claiming that they are of the other skin, whereas they are instilling our skin. I speak in parables, but then
Right.
I'm just saying that the fact is still there, right? And that fact is still very strong. However, I have realized that there are three kinds of people in nursing, and that is what usually motivates me in spite of my challenges. I realize there are three kinds of people I've realized in nursing, and the first kind of people are I'll start from the passerby in nursing. They're just passing by. They can be rich. In fact, they can afford the travels around the world, see the nice views, things like that, flex, have some money and things like that, which is good. Please have some money, is good. It makes you live comfortably. Then number two, I realize there are people who are survivors, just want to survive. They just want to, thank God we have moved to the UK. Thank God we have moved to the US. Thank this RN, that's all. Or this BSc, that's all. Thank you. We'll read again later, not today. But the third kind of people, and that's where I'm going, they are the gift to nursing. They are the people that no matter how high they climb, they will still hold dear in their hearts the interest of nursing and nurses. And I think for me, that is a big motivation to overcome all of my challenges. Believe me, I've had many challenges, really. But I feel that the moment I think and I know, look here, you are not there yet. Look here, you are a gift to a certain people. And until you get there, you can't just stop. You can't just relent. It makes me kind of work more, finishing one school, going into the other, finishing one course, going into the other. I don't know how I do it myself. And I ask, where did I get the money? But I realized that it is the passion that makes it easy to overcome the challenges. There are challenges everywhere, whether it's in the poor place of Somalia, whether you train there or in the richest place of Luxembourg, you will face challenges. So it is not economically bound. Perhaps you're a Nigerian, you're even streaming from Nigeria. So challenges is not limited to Nigeria. Wherever you go, there will always be challenges. But what motivates you? And that's the big question. That is what usually, makes me overcome that challenge. And importantly, I just want to add this. I am grateful that I have a kind of family life that help cushions the challenges. Because if you have a tough time at work or in your career and you're having a tough time at home, sorry, you are doubly beaten. So it's better you are just you are trying to get over the tough things out there, yet you are peace within inside your home, or whether with the help of your faith. So I feel that for me, the biggest challenge has been trying to understand the culture and trying to also, I've been in the UK less than 3 years, about 3 years thereabout, trying to understand the culture, integrate into the culture and advance, develop, become all I needed to become so that I can be a blessing indeed to nursing and to nurses. Yeah, that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love that. Thank you so much. Well, I think there's a lot I learned from both of you. Dr. Steve, I love the way you talked about systemic inequality, and the tribalism in Nigeria. It's stemming as there's nowhere we'll go to, just like Victor said, I will not see challenges. So that is how I see it. And you were talking about navigation, being able to, go through all that you went through and being able to collaborate and connect, while you're navigating. And Victor was also talking about being challenged and being motivated and trying to, be a gift to nursing. I really love that word, being a gift to nursing, not staying, not waiting to, not staying and be okay with where you are and trying to, get more and, impact. I think be more impactful. I think that would be my own word of that. But the only question I will have to ask the both of you right now is, when we're talking about challenges, Victor, you said something about having a family life, cushioning that area for you. And I want to say you guys are like, I want to say I envy you because you guys are guys. And majority of people in nursing, we are ladies, we are women, we go home. Despite the fact that, we want family to cushion us, we are the cushion. We have to cook, we have to do this and that. You have to take care of the children. We have to, I think this thing is gendered in a way where women, you have to be the one. And we are also in nursing like you. So I feel that, is there no inequality in that too? Because you guys have to do a lot of things by yourself without, and you are getting the support that you need from the family, but you are guys. How do you think women can aspire to do this? Steve, you talked about, having more credentials than the other people you work with. We want to do that. Actually, I'm doing my PhD in nursing at the University of Manitoba here in Canada. I'm a candidate already. I'm doing my analysis. I'm almost done by God's grace. Fingers crossed. Before the end of this year, I'm believing God I'll be done. And I've been in this work of PhD since 5 years. Imagine. It's so hard and so overwhelming for me having to, do that with, working 12 hours and taking care of the children and going to church. So, I just want to ask that question. Do you feel that women have the same opportunity? Can we say we are on the same platform like guys in nursing? You guys are flying all over, you're doing a lot of things. Can we do that? As in, what can we do? I don't know how to frame that question, but you get what I'm trying to say.
I like that.
Are you not like,
Yeah, sure.
having like you are privileged while we are the one oppressed? Let me use that word. Okay. Over to you, Dr. Steve.
That's it. See, your question is so valid. I love the way you frame the question, but permit me to use you know, the word of what's this guy's name? Jean Foucault is a post-structuralist theorist. The idea about gender-based roles constituting you know, inequalities and the outcomes the women get at the end of the day compared to what men get at the end of the day, I think needs to be properly addressed when we come to the Western world. In Nigeria, it's expected, it's an expectation that women play some certain role, men play some certain roles. I get that. But when we come abroad, adjusting, just like using the word of Victor, adjusting to life in the UK. Adjusting to life is not only the man or the woman. I think both of you will have to adjust to the expectation and the life that you have the opportunity to share together. What's very important? My wife, she earns more than I do. She's a professor too at Dalhousie University. She's about to complete her PhD program at University of Toronto. She has been everywhere. She's doing great. She earns more than I do. But I think what really helps me in my case is that I have the opportunity to marry someone who has always wanted to be a teacher. I wasn't arrogant when I realized that this lady had more potential than I do. Some men will become arrogant because of that. I'm the man of the house. I'm this, I'm that. No, I'm sorry. I won't say I'm not the man of the house. We are both partners. We practice partnership. I believe what is good for her is good for B. This is my principle. And I believe that's why the lady likes me. That's why she stays with me. Because I'm not one of those guys that would say, you go and sit in the kitchen. No. This lady was the one who went to school first when she came to Canada. I was 3 years ahead. I was 3 years in Canada when she came from Nigeria. This is a lady that has first class from the University of Ibadan. She came abroad. She went back to school. I was still an RN, diploma RN, working in one mental health hospital to the other and just working, busy working. And I enjoyed what I was doing. In my family, people were business oriented than schooling. Of course, all my brothers and sisters have degrees, just first degree, and they are all contented with that. But they have so much going for them in terms of businesses, right? That was my focus when I came abroad. I wanted to make money, right? To do 3 jobs, do 2 jobs if allowed, or 3 jobs or 4 jobs. But when I paid attention, I pay attention a lot to details. I'm detail oriented, and sometimes my students, when they talk about me, say, "Oh, this guy is too much. He's too detail oriented." I will pick you out. I will decipher everything when I study you. As I began to live with this lady when she came abroad, we got married. 2 weeks after, I traveled. Yeah. Right? I never had the time to. It was when she came abroad. It was when she came abroad, right, that we started learning each other. And I had to pay attention to who she is as a person, right? So she went back to school. She was successful. And I was paying attention to all her successes. And to the glory of God, I realized that because I paid attention, I got my own blessing too. I had the motivation from what she was doing to go back to school as well. I never had any intention to go back to school. I never had any plan to go back to school, but I paid attention to what she was doing. how successful she has become when she went for a master's program, and how when she got a job at the university, you know, how the amount of money they were paying her. I never thought teachers, professors would get that kind of money. They were even getting paid more than her and who were practicing at the time I got in there. So those motivation came not because I prayed to God or somebody sat me down and walked me through what to do. No, they came to me because I paid attention. I never saw her as inferior to me. When a man begins to see a woman as inferior to him, and that's a big problem for that man or for that family. The same thing, if care is not taken, people can become competitive. When a woman is successful in African culture, it threatens the man. In most cases, I've seen it. I've been here for 15 years. I saw it. Nigerians, you know, how they deal with each other, families, and so on and so forth. You know, people who want to progress should never have that mentality, you know, being threatened by your wife's success or by your husband's success.
Thank you.
So this is where I think that people need to come together and decide how they want their family to look like. You first go to school. When you finish, I will go. We can make that arrangement. We are partners. We shouldn't compete with each other. After all, the money comes to the family, right? Why are we competing? So I think when we get rid of that abroad, we'll live a better life. But when we want to do it the way we do it in Nigeria, we will mess ourselves, we'll mess our children's life up as well. So I think let me round it up by saying that the outcomes we get individually, I think, is a result of our careful planning as partners. If we don't plan properly how we want this to go, it's going to be the problem that would separate everybody, and everybody would have a miserable life, and the children too will have a miserable life. But if we believe in each other and we appear to be the cheerleader for each other, I think we can do much better. We can do better. We can do well and achieve the common goals. Yeah, that's what I think.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Over to you, Victor.
That was wow. Thank you, Dr. Steve. Yeah, I think what I had in mind to say, quite right, is starting from where you stopped, really. I think I would say, please understand the dynamics of your family. Understand the dynamics of your family. So there's one thing I have realized about, and I say this with all honesty and humility, about female nurses is female nurses often tend and not to think things through maritally before getting involved. And I've seen this. They often not. They often forget to think. What are the ideologies of this man? What is his ideologies around progress, around academia, around what is it a motivator? Is it someone who would encourage me to keep studying, or someone who would just say, you know what, you have become a basket for childbirth? I think, in my opinion, that many female nurses hurriedly try to settle for less. If you are under the sound of my voice and you can hear me, you're which more, and if you are much younger, please be careful with your planning, because it would influence most part of your life. Be careful about the decisions you make today. It would be vital tomorrow. You may not see it unfolding yet today, but it will definitely matter tomorrow. And I still go back to understand the dynamics of your family. For example, in my family, we have a goal of saying, you know what, for the sake of we trying to give birth. Of course, we have a child. We say for the sake of, we've discussed this before then, so that's why I'm saying we're trying to give birth. So for the sake of the children, we are not going to stress ourselves into studying. We are going to take it turns. There's nothing wrong with me doing the diaper if my wife is studying. There's nothing wrong with me doing the dishes if she's doing certain things. The goal is to make progress and to support each other. Do you get? And I personally am of the opinion that what of course I want PhD. My wife would be, my wife will get a PhD as well. In fact, we can even have more than one as the Lord grants us. But what's the benefit? I say to myself, you know what, Victor? What's the benefit of having all of these things and losing your home? No, tell me, what's the benefit? So I feel that our priorities are kind of, you know what? Let's focus on what matters. Don't worry, you are not in any competition. You are not competing with anyone. Don't worry, it's your journey. You will arrive. Don't worry, it's your journey. You will arrive, and just pray for grace to arrive well and arrive on time. It's your journey. You will arrive, and when you show up, you can't be denied. When you show up, no one would say they haven't seen you, because you would have been a testament of many processes, many scrutinies, many difficulties. So just to finalize what I'm saying, again, understand what works for your family, and don't put and I'm not even going to go into the gender based things, because I've seen some men who just want to settle, they don't want to do anything again, and I've seen women who want to really advance the frontier. And if you are that kind of man who is passionate about growth, introduce your wife to it. Right. If you are that kind of woman who is passionate about growth, introduce, when I say introduce, you know how you can do it as a woman, because some men, the ego thing is still there. So just introduce it, to them. For example, the likes of Ibukwa Woshika started her business before she got married. You know what I mean? And the husband knew that was what she was doing. So there was no problem. She was doing well in her business already. She needed what she was doing, and she factored in the cost, count the cost. Have you ever seen anyone who would build a tower who will not first sit down to count the cost? So count the cost. How much are we having? Who is going to school this year? Just speak in the languages that both of you understand. And I think it goes a long way. But don't forget where I came from. Nurses, female nurses should receive the grace to discern the kind of marriages they go into, so that they don't become trapped for life, so that it doesn't become the obituary of the academic pedigree. That's where I just had. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Steve. Thank you, Victor. These are like very, very inspiring, and they are like eye-opening for us. And I feel that I really agree with all that you said. And I'm sure somebody here is listening, and they are getting motivated, they are getting inspired. And I'm sure one person that is listening to us will think about taking a decision when it comes to having a spouse, making sure that they are able to get someone that shares their vision and who is not going to stop them in the way of their growth. Thank you very much. Okay, because of our time, we'll not be able to go through all our questions. We have a lot of questions, but I like the way we are tweaking it in a way that, where the discussion is taking us. But I'm just very curious, Victor, how did you get here? Like your current role, what prompted you to take up this role? I'm just really very curious. Can we quickly go into that before we end our discussion?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Then I'll ask one more question. Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we
can. I have one more question to Steve, with Dr. Steve. Then we round up with a general question. Then we'll round up. Okay, you can go ahead, Victor.
Yeah, thank you for that question. See, I am of the opinion that you are not sent, or you are not a nursing to do everything. No, you are not a nursing to do everything. Please, if you haven't settled that now, settle it now. You are not a nursing to do everything. So what got me here, actually, don't forget that as nurses, we are saddled with the responsibility to safeguard the lives of people, of our clients, or our patients. And I feel that being in there's a big goal I have in mind, actually. And this is just a passage to that big goal, if I can put it that way. But I would say that, and I love it. I've always wanted to. I've always wanted to. I've always wanted to. Sorry, I just got distracted by that chat. I've always wanted to do something in finance. While I was in Nigeria, I was organizing financial forums because I knew that if nurses are financially empowered, there's much we can do. There are rooms we can speak. There are policies we can influence. Yes. And there are places we can actually matter. Right. So, and that was what really, really made me say, you know what? In fact, before I left Nigeria, I particularly wanted to work with the insurance company. So I worked with IGEA to understand certain things about, how things work and all of that. I think IGEA was just a year or 2 years before I migrated to the UK. So when I got here too, as well, privilegedly, of course, and I had a very great privilege and joy of getting married to a nurse as well. So if you are married to a nurse, you don't know the gift God has given you. You don't know. So so I got that privilege of getting married to a nurse as well. So it affords me the privilege, the opportunity, to take other roles alongside. So, like Mr. Steve said, Dr. Steve said, you could work many other things, but I decided to focus on the financial industry to understand how things work, to get properly certified, and so that, because I've seen the gaps, really, I've seen, and believe me, as ever since I've started this role, I've seen the gaps in the policies they've given to immigrants in terms of insurance. And I'm like, really, is this it? So, and I felt that there is a strong need to close that gap, to bridge that gap. And that is what I do essentially. If you, for example, come to my meetings, I explain things, and the feedback has been, you know what, Victor, no one has explained this thing to me this way before. I said, oh, thank you. And I think that is why I am particularly doing what I'm doing. Nursing for me is a very great platform. Of course, I still work as a nurse. But then I am, like I said, I have a big goal, which I am believing that I may not be able to share now, but when it comes, hopefully, we will see. But there is that big goal. But this is the process. This is the part of the process to get to that big goal. And I'm thankful to God for making each day count for myself and for my family. I don't know if I answered your question.
Thank you very much. That was awesome. Thank you very much. And over to you, Dr. Steve. I know you said one or two things, concerning how you got where you are, to the role you're playing right now. But in a nutshell, maybe in the next 2 minutes, is there something you would like to add to why you chose your career and what you are doing at this moment?
Yeah, thank you. I think curiosity got me here, to be honest. Like I said, I paid attention to my wife's successes when she went back to school. She was the first person that went back to school. When she finished her master's, she did another master's again. I was paying attention. What is there in this education, in this academia? And when she got a job, I realized for the first time that I was wasting my time working 12 hours. And I too also had to go back to school and start with a master's program. At the time, I realized what I think I should be doing with my life. So I think the biggest lesson learned from this whole thing is that for me personally, I feel like education might not be for everybody. Individual will have to figure out exactly what resonates with you on a deeper level. It might be business that resonates with you, that comes naturally to you. Pour all your energy into that business. It might be, school that resonates with you. Pour all your energy into that school. It might be projects in Nigeria or here or abroad. Just do it. And if you pay attention, curiosity will take you places. I keep telling people, there are many businesses here we can repeat in Nigeria. A friend of mine now is establishing a big platform like Booking.com. Is establishing such a platform in Nigeria. He just looked at what is being done here, how it's being done, and he just go to Nigeria and just repeat it. So many of us that love businesses, we can begin to look into things abroad that they do here that you can repeat back home and you make money. The future is Africa. The future is Africa. I just want to say carefully that as far as the future is Africa, the future might not be for everybody in Africa. So everybody will have to figure out exactly what resonates with you. Be curious enough to know the trend, the changes in the society, and how you can learn the processes and replicate it. And just success is reproducible. There's nothing like metaphysical about success. I'm sorry. I believe in prayer. The God's factor is there. I believe that. But there is also the framework for success. The only thing you need to do is to look for someone who is successful in the area you anticipate or the area you want to become successful at. Sit down with this person. Let this person rub the ideas on you. And before you know what's happening, you can become successful yourself by just investing time, energy, and emotion into it, or money. So there is no point to do what other people are doing. I don't believe in that principle, but I also believe in you being curious to know exactly what comes natural to you. When you pay attention to details, to people, to successes, to friends who are successful, I think there might be some patterns that you also as a person can replicate in any place you find yourself. So I think all this come together for me as a person. My personality really worked well for me in terms of me figuring out what my life trajectory would look like. For the future, I hope to see a future for myself where I won't have to do this job anymore. I love this job, but I hope to see that future coming. I'm working towards that future. I give myself a timeline for this academia thing, professor thing. And once that timeline reaches, I want to leave this behind and transition into something else. I will continue to evolve socially, mentally, financially, until I have no energy to do all those things again. So that's how I see myself in the future. This is not the end for me. Nothing is not the end. It just gives me the platform to become the person I want to become. And from there, I'm going to do other things. The processes are all in place now, and I'm working towards that. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's so awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Well, just like I said, because of our time, we might not be able to go into the other things we wanted to do, but we are just curious. For you, Dr. Steve, what do you do outside nursing? You know, you've been saying, okay, all the things, it's about reading, studying, doing research, going to, to classes, to lecture, getting your PhD, doing and that, paying attention, and being curious. So what other thing do you like to do to, to mellow down and enjoy life? Yeah, yeah, that you do to enjoy life. Thank you.
Normally, joy. Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me? My internet is not good today. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, good. To be honest with you, I enjoy my solitude a lot. I enjoy being alone. I enjoy it. The greatest gift I have is just find a place to just mellow and just contemplate life, think, plan, scheme, whatever you want to call it. My biggest idea comes to me when I'm alone. My wife understands it. God bless her, she understands who I am. I could just take a time out. I could just travel by myself and just travel. She doesn't have any problem with that. I could just anywhere, I love my solitude. Then too, I love to take a walk in the woods, in the trail. I take walk in the trail. Just the idea of being alone helps me. That's one thing I do so well. I enjoy people. I am not completely introverted, and I'm not completely extroverted. I'm in between the two, but I use it to my advantage. But when I want to recharge, it's just go inward and just withdraw from people and just watch documentary, pray, eat, cook, stuff like that. Yeah.
I like that. I like that. I'm not completely introverted. I like that completely.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's so interesting. I said Dr. Victor, maybe, yeah, I'm prophesying. Victor, how about you? How do you relax, you know?
Right, right. Thank you for that question. So for me, actually, I love music, and
Mm,
like twice a month at least, I have an in-house studio here in my house where I make songs. I just sing, I just worship. It's what I enjoy doing, really, and I just love it. And yeah, that's one of the things I do. And I love to read. I love to read a lot. But these days, because of the baby, I've not been reading in the last maybe 1 or 2 months now. Yes. So I love to read. Yeah, I really love to read. I love to stay abreast of things that I should know. Yeah, if I'm taking up a role, I'm doing something, I'm making a presentation, I'm going for a meeting. For example, I was in a meeting before I joined these. I just love to prepare ahead and do things that I needed to do. It's just comes naturally to me. And I enjoy family. Believe me, I enjoy time with family. I enjoy time with family. I can do all of that, but I just want to stay with family. I just want to play with my girls. I just want to have a good time. I just want them to, to know that I'm around when I'm
that's good.
around. Yeah. So that when I'm out,
Mhm.
when I'm away from home, they know I'm out, things like that. Yeah. Yeah. I think for me, and lastly, I would just say I value relationships. I have seen in my life the corridors I shouldn't have been if not for relationships. Believe me. I have seen the helps I shouldn't have received if not for relationships. So I place value, a big value on relationships. First, relationship with God and relationship with people. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That shows how different we can be, when somebody wants to, be on their own and get a lot of and enjoy it, the other person, well, and I think that's also rubs on what we love and what we are able to, what attracts us, into the things that we can do, even outside nursing. Dr. Steve was saying that we should try and see what the future looks like for us, and try to be curious. I love that word, curiosity. When you see others around you doing things and making waves, it's not particularly that you try to copy them, but just pay attention. Maybe something can come to you through that. I love that a lot. So I think that's that's who we are and what we are and what we love to do. I think that also determines what is being attracting to us, what we pay attention to. So you being an educator and you going into finance, and there's no how you know have to use some of the inner things that you have. So I really love that. Thank you so much. So I want to ask a question. So if you want to advise someone, a nurse, who is aspiring to be who you are right now, what will you tell that person? Like a younger version of yourself who is still trying to, get to where you are, but want to be better. What will you advise that person? I'm coming to you, Dr. Steve. Okay,
Thank you.
Victor, you can
Oh,
start off.
okay, all right.
Let's start with
Exactly.
Victor.
I
Yeah.
wanted to say let the younger ones go first. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So I would say that never believe yourself. I mean, believe yourself. Never doubt yourself. Nothing limits you like self-doubt. Nothing limits you like self-doubt. I want to say that again. I don't want it to sound like a motivation, but just take note. Nothing limits you like self-doubt. And secondly, I want to say that every skill you currently have, whether at the bedside, clinical nursing, leadership, which area of nursing you might be, IT, there are some nurses going into tech now. Beautiful, beautiful thing. Whatever skill you've got is transferable. Believe me, whatever skill you think you've got is transferable. So don't completely discard anything you've got. Okay, don't say, "Oh, I'm jumping into this," and you just leave. You just leave whatever you're doing. So I would also say that be courageous. Life does not answer to those who to those to those who are brilliant or who are skilled. Life answers to those who are audacious. Have the audacity. Go for the apply for the grant. Apply for the scholarship. Just do it. Just do it. And do it right, of course. Be audacious and know specifically where you are. You are likely to serve better, where you are likely not to be a crowd or not to be among the crowd, but to stand out. For example, I used to say jokingly, I need the knowledge of research, I need the knowledge of many things in nursing, but I can't be pillars in some not in some fields, and nursing is very diverse. In fact, nursing is the most diverse profession in the world. So know where you belong, know what you want to do. If you want to focus on finance, for example, I help people currently in the UK, if they're having mortgage issues, insurance issues, things like that, know what you want to do, stick with it, study about it, get licensed so that you are able to offer practical helps. Know it in and out. Know it in and out. And I'm not saying that you must know everything. There are times you don't know everything, but just make sure you are competent. That's the word. Be competent in anything you're doing, and don't hide under the umbrella of whatsoever to explain your incompetency. Finally, I would say that hand your journey over to God. I know this is not religious gathering, and I don't want it even to sound that way. I'm just saying that he goes ahead of you, so he knows better than you do. He sees farther than you can see. The farthest I can see as I'm seated, he's probably a few blocks away. That's the farthest I can see. But there is someone who can see farther than you can ever see. There is someone who understands your journey better than you can ever do, and no one understands the product than the manufacturer, believe me. And so just commit your ways to God. Don't be fanatic about it. Don't and that's why I started with competency. Be competent in what you do, because I see these days some people pray a lot and do all of that, and they are never competent. No, I will patronize you. Sorry. So be competent and know what you're doing. Know your God. Serve God. Whatever you're doing, just love on Him. Just listen to Him, and as He guides you, be humble about it. Don't whatever you become, just know it's by grace. Just know. And I really want to sound that to everyone under the sound of my voice who is willing to go that further. Whatever you become, understand it is by grace. And I'm not using this to preach, believe me, because I have seen people who God have moved from the back seat of life to the front seat of life, but because of pride, they just fell off. They fell off. So all of the garments of honor and the glory that was there, they just began to get stripped one after the other. So in fact, the higher you go, the more humble you should become. And I'll just leave that words with you. And finally, and
Thank you very much.
I would
Okay.
just say that leverage on mentorship. Leverage on mentorship. Leverage on mentorship. Find out someone who is doing what you're currently doing, or maybe something close, even if you cannot find exactly the exact thing, what you want to become. Find out someone who's doing something close. For example, my big goal is to be able to influence policies on a very key level. There are key levels on a very key. That's one of my biggest goals. So find out people who are doing that. Find out what they are doing. Find out what they understood. Find out the certifications they have, and just go in that direction. Sooner or later, you will arrive there. Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's so awesome. I wrote down a lot of things I will share with everyone later. Dr. Steve, over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I think I'm just going to limit my ideas to academia, because that's where I think I have a good thing to share, with the people. So I think for anyone who wants, become professor, you want to work in the school system. My advice to embrace is to try learning, lifelong learning, and you should never underestimate the importance of mentorship. This is not Nigeria anymore, right? 99.9% of those people you're going to be, working with, they are not from Nigeria. So you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable, in many rooms, being the only Black person in a class of many, many people, white, predominantly white. How do you make friends? How do you collaborate? How do you do your work and still be successful? So even though it might feel uncomfortable, you have to really make yourself comfortable in that situation, in those situations, or in those settings. I feel like, most of what will come to you at the end of the day, your successes, rely so much on your ability to engage people and relate with people. You have to engage, then relate. So you can't get the best out of people when you don't engage them, when you don't relate with them. People will do anything. One of the studies I just recently finished, completed, it talks about why some people in long-term care homes, get the care they needed, and some do not get the care they needed. And it comes down to one thing: relationship centeredness. You have good relationship with nurses that works in long-term care. It doesn't matter who you are. These nurses would want to help you from time to time. You don't have good relationship, or your family members do not have good relationship with those nurses, they will leave you there to be rotting on the bed, and there's nothing you can do about it. So the significance of relationship it's so important to know, to have this understanding that relationship will get you things that your certificate might not be able to get you. Relationship will open doors for you. It will take you to places that you would never have thought in your life you will get to in life. Meaningful relationship. I evaluate people a lot. If I see that there's nothing meaningful about my relationship with you, I really don't want to hang around that much. If there's something meaningful about my relationship, our relationship that we share, we keep it going. That's how it is. There's no crime in it. People serve us differently. We also serve people differently. So you have to be able to compartmentalize this idea of relationship centeredness in everything we do as individuals, as people. It's not limited to church relationship. Nigerians, I understand, relationship only is limited to church. In your workplace, what kind of meaningful relationship do you have? These are how most of the research I have done, that grants I receive, I worked for, who introduced me to the dean of his university, who asked me to submit interest. That was what got me the PhD program. The grants that helped me to survive the PhD life, it was people I work with that put this idea together with me, and I did the school for free. You can see the extent at which life becomes easier, I think, is contingent on the relationship that you form with people. You cannot afford to. I have seen people who are only comfortable among Nigerians. You might have to start thinking outside of the box. I'm sorry to say this. I used to go to Nigerian church when I first came to Canada. I only go there when I'm invited. There's no discrimination about that. I have to find myself create that opportunity for myself to adapt and adopt so that I can be successful among these people, right? I don't hate my Nigerian people. I can still go there, but it's not my major church anymore. What I'm trying to say is that we might have to start thinking outside of that comfort that Nigerian society provides us, and looking into other people, communities, other people that we can, we can begin to, bring into our own way of life and being as people. So it's okay. If you're comfortable around Nigerians, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay to have Nigerian friends. There's nothing wrong with that. But now this is not Nigeria anymore. You have to really move it beyond Nigerians and find yourself people who can actually, add values to your life. I'm not saying Nigerians don't add values to your life. That's not what I'm saying. But for me, I have to leave that space of thinking, that space, to a space where other people don't look like me, who don't talk like me. They are comfortable around me, and I'm comfortable around them. And 99.9% of the successes I've had in my life in this Canada in 15 years came from those people, not Nigerians. So it's a delicate balance. Please don't say I hate Nigerians. Don't say I don't like Nigerians. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying something very meaningful here, that we have to start thinking like those people are also important. They have something to contribute. As much as racism is on the land, if you focus on racism, whatever you focus on will increase. If you focus on racism, racism will increase. If I want to see racism this evening, I can go out there and see it. If I don't want to see it, it won't happen. There's a way the world brings it to you, whatever you focus so much on.
Thank you very much.
My plea is beyond Nigerians abroad. That's what I'm trying to say.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's so awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's so very important. I think everything is owing into relationship. Victor also said a lot about relationship, and I think this is something that we need to actually work on, mentoring, leveraging mentorship. It's all about relationship, getting curious about looking at people and being able to get things from them, And I like that, you were trying to explain the reason why we don't have to sit down with just comfortable. Okay, I think the word you used was comfortable by not being comfortable. I think that was the what you used. Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much for that. I really want to appreciate both of you for coming. And okay, you want to say something?
I want to say something lastly. There's a Nigerian man here
Okay.
who became the member of parliament in Nova Scotia. Right? I don't know if you know him. He's a very popular man. And majority of the vote this man had in the last election we did here came from the non-Nigerians. Whereas the Nigerians who were supposed to vote for this man did not vote for this man. If the man had not formed relationships, he probably would not have won that election. So, sorry to cut you. I just want to put that in so that you a circle of friends.
Yes.
Right,
Really,
right.
yeah. That's so, somebody was writing on the page here, say, our people. Well, our people, it is well. I hope we learn, and we're able to not be who we are talking about. So I think sometimes when we say we are talking about people, we also need to make that decision not to become that person that we are talking about. And I think this forum has also really, really opened our eyes to a lot of things. I hope we are recording. I was asking the president if we are recording, because this information we got here is honey. Like, it needs to go out there for all our nurses to learn from. There's a lot of good things that we've gotten here. So looking into the chat, I think, so if you have any question, can you just raise up your hand using the emoji? I only got one question here. And that question was asking Dr. Steve what you were doing from 1986 to 2008. Yeah, so maybe in one word, you can just answer that question, Dr. Steve.
1986, 86.
Yeah, to
My
2008.
goodness. I finished high school in 1995. So 86, I would say I was still in secondary school. I started secondary school in 1989. So 86, I was in primary school. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Okay. Thank you. So do we have anyone with question here? The only question that we have is what I've also already asked you, although we still have a lot of questions, but because of our time, we might not be able to ask you any more questions. But if we have any question coming in, I'm sure to send them over to you. We have your email, and we have the we have your number. And I feel that if there's any question that comes in, personally, I have some questions. So we'll be getting across to you because of the people that wants to go to work or anyone that wants to, because of our time. So we won't be able to go ahead. But wrapping up, I want to just talk about a little takeaway in case some people are not listening. I want just to give you some origos so you can take them away, So we talked about systemic inequality. Dr. Steve talked about a challenge, talking about a kind of inequality. And he said that, getting more credentials, making sure that you are able to do what they cannot do. When you are able to give them, they will acknowledge you based on what you bring to the table. That really stood out for me. And yeah, that's a very, very strong one, and you talked about navigating, connecting, and collaborating with people. That was a challenge, navigating. But I think the relationships aspects helped you better in navigating some of the challenges that you had at that time. Thank you very much for that. That was really huge. And our dear Victor was also, in fact, are you a pastor? I think you sound like one. So, or a motivational speaker. So you were talking about, being courageous, and you said not to limit you like self-doubt. Actually, that actually stood out for me a lot because, as an academia or upcoming academia, I am still struggling. Well, I used to struggle more, but right now I still feel that there are sometimes I still struggle with this, what we call the syndrome. I know Dr. Steve will understand what we call that.
Imposter syndrome.
What the imposter syndrome, when you feel like a fraud. Is that I don't think I have what it takes to do this. I don't think I can do this, but so I think your word about, not to limit you more than self-doubt really stood out for me. If you doubt yourself, you don't know what you have inside of you. But if you doubt yourself, that's just like a limit to where you can get to. And I think that that's also really stood out for me. I know a lot of things stood out for everyone here. So we have our email on the chat. So if you have any question, maybe after this, you can send to the email. I want to appreciate you, Dr. Steve, for taking time off your busy schedule to be here. I also want to thank you, Victor, for taking time to be here. I also want to thank everyone on this platform for taking time to join us. We can't have this program or session without you. Thank you for showing up. One thing before we leave, I just want to ask everyone here, if there's something that stood out for you before the end of today. I heard this from somewhere. Somebody was saying, if you hear something good as this, please take action now. If there's something that you need, that you heard, that stood out for you, it is better you take it now. Don't wait till tomorrow to take that action. I'm going to do that too. Maybe I'm going to go into my small space like Dr. Steve, where I will not have anyone around me, so I can think and get down those things that will move me forward. So it's really very important that we take that action today, so you can have the full benefits of this 1.5 hours that we have spent here. Thank you very much. I want to leave this ground for the president. If you have anything to say before we round up.
Yeah.
And we also have our co-hosts. We have our Honorable Oba Kayode Ogungbon, who is also here. What they call it? Sorry.
You want to say
Co-founder.
Okay.
That's what I was looking for.
Okay.
So we want to appreciate your presence to Oba Kade Pelorio. I don't know how to say it too much. Thank you very much for coming, and for every single person that joined us. Thank you. Okay, you can go ahead.
All right. Thank you so much, my dear Sister BC Ayeni. And I believe I've welcomed everybody before the start of this program, but as the program went by, we have other people joining and some left before the end of the the program, but I must say that I'm so overwhelmed with this turnout, honestly. And for the level of impact this program